boy Brian Cotton. You know I keep pounding. You know, I meant to make some more videos this season. But I had a couple of kids. A couple babies. So you have to excuse the Panthers rants that have been non-existent. Because they've been on my mind. I've had a lot of things said about this team this year that's really just made me mad. But I had these babies, so you'll have to excuse me for not being able to air to the world my frustrations with how this 15-1 team has been treated by y'all. Okay, first of all, I made a video in June that said Cam Newton would absolutely, positively be worth the contract that he signed. And guess what? He was. This team was one game away from having an undefeated season. And that game against Atlanta, give them props. They won. They ended our perfect season. But, I'm going to do the dirty bird if the Panthers win the Super Bowl because I think that loss was good for this team to have. Took the pressure off, let them know that they could be beat. I never sweated that loss against Atlanta. I was just mad that it was Atlanta that did. I would prefer some just obscure team than a division rival. But you know what? So be it. Y'all won. Congratulations. Getting into this game against Seattle on Sunday. I'm going to Gatlinburg. We're going to have to stop at a B-Dubs or something on the way. We're going on a little vacation. A little short, little break. So I'm going to have to stop by some B-Dubs or something, watch the game. I'm not going to be with my TV that I love. So, you got to do what you got to do. At least I get to watch the game. I get so tired of Seattle. Now, I know the Panthers' record is 1-4 with Cam Newton against Seattle and all this stuff. I understand that Russell Wilson is Jesus. All right? I don't need y'all telling me Russell Wilson is Jesus, Richard Sherman is the Holy Spirit, and Cam Chancellor is the Father. That's the Trinity. The Holy Trinity plays for Seattle. And I'm going to have to listen to it all game unless the Panthers blow them out of the water, which I hope they do, but I don't think they will. It's going to be a close game. So I understand that we're going against basically the God of the Holy Bible. At least that's the way they make it out to be. No respect for this team that won 15 games this year. They want to talk about the schedule. When Seattle they lost to the Rams twice. Just 2 weeks ago, they lost to the Rams at home. But I'm not going to get into all that because the schedule is a pointless thing. If the Falcons had an easier schedule than Carolina, why didn't they go 15-1? Because they're not a good team. The Panthers were the best team in the NFL this year. That's why they won 14 in a row. That's why they finished 15-1. Now, if there's one commentator that I can't stand, it's that guy on CBS. His name is Boomer Esiason. Every year the Panthers have a playoff team. It doesn't matter what year it is, or who they're playing, or how their regular season went. Our boy, Boomer Esiason, has always got something to say about Carolina. I was watching the pregame show to this boring game between the Chiefs and the Patriots. And Boomer Esiason is getting on there saying that the Panthers really didn't beat Seattle. Because Seattle was struggling. And Seattle didn't have Bobby Wagner. And blah, blah, blah. You know who Greg Olsen beat to win that game? He beat Richard Sherman and he beat Cam Chancellor. 2/3 of the Holy Trinity. But they don't want to give the Panthers any respect for that win. That's okay, though. I remember in 2005, the Panthers had just beaten the Giants 23-0 in New York. And they were getting ready to play the Bears the next week. And everybody was praising the Panthers for being the first team, maybe ever. I don't know what the stat is. I think they were the first team to ever go on the road in the Super Bowl era and shut out a team on the road in the playoffs. I might be wrong on that, but I think they were like the first or the second. They were one of the first, if not the first. One of the only. And Boomer Esiason, I remember what he said. He said, well, Carolina, you can celebrate this week, but you know who you got next week? You got a defense in Chicago. So enjoy it this week because you're going to be going home next week. Y'all, Steve Smith had 200 receiving yards in that game against the Bears, and the Panthers won 29-21. Let's put 29 points on that defense that Boomer Esiason so arrogantly said Carolina had no shot. So you know what? I don't have a lot of. I've stopped putting a lot of stock into what Boomer Esiason has to say a long time ago. I just wish he would give us respect. But you know what? We're getting to the point of the year where we're almost to the Super Bowl. Why am I going to listen to Boomer Esiason tell me what it takes for a team to win a Super Bowl? Give me one reason, because he didn't win one as a player. So he doesn't know what it takes as a player to win a Super Bowl. So his opinion is null and void, as far as I'm concerned. And no, I'm not saying Carolina's going to win the Super Bowl, but I'm not going to sit there and say another team can't do it. Like he does. So, anyway. So we got this game. Everybody says that Seattle has gotten better since the October game. Maybe that's true. But you know who else got better? Cam Newton got better since then. It was a game in October that the Panthers won. And you know what? Everybody said that this whole debate about Cam Newton was only in the MVP discussion because of his team being 5-0 and because they didn't have any weapons and his numbers weren't as good as Tom Brady's or Carson Palmer's or Aaron Rodgers, which Aaron Rodgers completely fell off the face of the earth this season. So, you got all that garbage. Okay? Cam Newton has gotten better because his numbers are MVP numbers now. The Panthers didn't remain stagnant. That's the thing that makes me so frustrated is people keep talking about how much better Seattle's gotten. Carolina's gotten better too. All right, now that defense, they've kind of fallen apart in games this year, but Cam Newton is playing out of his mind. 35 passing touchdowns and 10 rushing touchdowns. 45 total touchdowns attributed to Cam Newton. 3,800 passing yards. Something like 600 rushing yards. I mean, the guy is dominating. And his numbers have finally, because, I'm not a big numbers guy, because I thought Cam Newton was the MVP back in October because he was doing it by himself. Now, he's gotten a little bit of help since then. But Cam Newton was carrying this team. And I didn't care if the stats weren't as good. He was carrying the team. So, just because Seattle's gotten better doesn't mean Carolina is the same exact team either. So, prediction for the game, I'm going to say it's going to be a close game. I'm going to say Panthers 20, Seahawks 19, and I'm hoping that this game will be the end of this Pete Carroll, Holy Trinity era in Seattle because I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of Seattle, and I'm tired of people dogging Carolina but praising Seattle when they're more arrogant than Carolina ever is. Carolina's not as arrogant to disrespect an opponent the way the Seahawks do. So I'm angry. I'm a little bit frustrated, but it's all in love for the Panthers. I'm going to enjoy the game tomorrow. I don't know where I'm going to watch it at. It could be in a cabin. It could be in B-Dubs. But, I'm going to represent. I kind of hope it's at B-Dubs because I'll be a little bit calmer. But anyway, it's your boy Brian Cotton. Keep pounding. Enjoy that game tomorrow.